Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of Man, We're Too Old for This, here on the Nerd Eternal Network. I'm your host, the experience of some called Jason, and with me today is...
Blurred Dawn of the Ville, the Todd Father.
And CDL-113, the droid you're looking for.
And today we're going to talk about all the cancellations for DC. Since the merger with Warner Brothers Discovery merger, they've, trying to think of a good analogy, been going through them like a reaper through wheat. I don't know.
Yeah. Or you considering Discovery is popular for their home renovation shows, they've been knocking a few walls down.
See, I prefer to look at it as the trash coming through and picking up the trash and taking it away. Cause
that works too. After you
I'm
walk,
not sure if that's as dramatic, but it's probably as accurate.
Yeah.
So, well, Todd, you've probably looked into this more than the rest of us.
Actually, I haven't. I'm in the process of I'm on a site right now looking through all the gone, maybe gone, probably gone. Well, they've scraped out a lot of trash.
Well, I know the big one that I heard first was Batgirl.
Batgirl, yeah, and Batgirl was one that when I first heard about it, I was like, eh. And then after I saw the Batman, since you had a Batgirl of color, I was like, oh, okay, it's tied in to that because James Gordon's black in the Batman. It's Jeffrey Wright. I was like, oh, well, I like that film. I'm excited about that. Oh, no. That ain't what it was tied to. It was tied to The Flash, and she was Barbara Gordon, but J.K. Simmons was like still Commissioner Gordon from the Snyderverse. And then you're going to have Michael Keaton's Batman in it. And yeah, that damn thing sounded like a clusterfuck.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounded like pure trash.
They had filmed a lot of that one, hadn't they?
Yeah, it was pretty much finished. They had spent close to 100, at least
90 plus million was the figure I saw. And that includes the initial filming and reshoots. And they're just going to write it off.
Yep, it's going to be a tax write-off. They basically looked at it and said, yeah, I don't think this bird's going to fly. Let's write it off for the taxes and never release it ever. Because when they do those films for a tax write-off, they can't release them. They can't release them in theaters. They can't release them on streaming. They can't sell them to another studio and have that studio release them. They are just dead. That thing is dead. They took it, burned it to the ground. So
the only way anybody will see it if somebody snuck a copy out.
Yeah. It'll be the new Roger Corman's Fantastic Four. That'll be
It's gonna hurt it because there's no videotapes no more.
Yeah.
That was one thing in the help Corman's thing. You could actually tape it. Those crap's in the cloud.
Yeah. Unless somebody hacks in and gets a digital copy.
Or a worker, sneaks it off somewhere and then releases it publicly.
Yeah. Now that's quite possible.
But they got rid of that, and they got rid of. Apparently, they got rid of the Wonder Twins.
Yeah, they canned the Wonder Twins.
How in the world could they not think that would succeed?
I'm like Batgirl. I can understand, but my God, how do you get rid of the Wonder Twins? I mean, the Wonder Twins. That's got to just. I mean, that just screams. 2 hours of your life that you never see again.
But at least they have not spent a single dime on that so far. So
they'd already start casting it.
Yeah, but casting don't cost that much money. They've maybe spent $100,000 minimum trying to cast.
It says the film had nearly entered production phase. So again, that was another one of them going, who the hell greenlit this crap? The Supergirl woman movie, because the Flash was supposed to spin out Batgirl and Supergirl. And they canned that one too, because that was another one looked like, man, they just got money written all over it.
Please tell me they've canned the Flash.
Nope. That's the one that's the low-hanging fruit that it seems like they're keeping. I saw last night online where Barbara Manchetti, one of the producers, she was like, the Flash is safe. And I was like,
why? I would rather see Batgirl than the Flash.
I was literally just on there making jokes about the Flash is safe. Yeah, tell that to the woman he hit in the head with a steel chair.
Yeah.
You ain't safe. That's just one that.
Yeah, I ain't watching.
I ain't going to that one. They can keep that shit.
Yeah, I'll be lucky if I watch that one when it comes to streaming at some point.
Yeah,
if it comes on HBO Max where it's free,
yeah,
maybe.
I'm good. I'm good on giving Ezra Miller's crazy ass any money. Up next, you had Aquaman, the sequel to Aquaman, and it got pushed back. They have now added Ben Affleck's Batman to it, and they've pushed it back. And then you got a lot of films that's kind of up in the air. The J.J. Abrams Justice League Dark Universe, the Superman reboots that they were talking about.
I know they said they've pushed the Joker back to 2024.
The Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yeah, the Joaquin Phoenix Joker sequel. It's been pushed.
For me, that's another one they could push off a cliff.
Yeah.
I didn't care for that at all.
But that one made money, so that one's got an audience.
Yeah, it's got an audience. I'm just saying, for me, this is me personally.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was like watching the sequel to Taxi Driver to me.
Yeah, it was way too Taxi Driver. It was a lot less. It was a lot less Joker than it was Taxi Driver. They keep that. And like I said, there's a lot of stuff in there. The Green Lantern series, it was supposed to be on HBO Max, and they pretty much start putting the nails in the Arrowverse on TV.
Yeah,
that Gotham Knights travesty that they were playing around with, it got canned.
Yeah, I think the only thing they filmed for that was the pilot so far.
Yeah, they had the pilot, and they were like, no.
I know when Jennifer and I went to Las Vegas years ago, I'm talking like in the late 90s, they had an area at the casino we stayed at, the hotel, where they would show trailers and pilot episodes. Like they might show you 25 minutes of a movie, or they might show you the 30-minute pilot episode or an hour pilot episode, and they would get the people's, stuff. And you had some folks coming out of those like, that is the most god-awful thing I've ever seen. Please don't let them make that a show. And, a lot of that was like, oh, yeah, this one tanked. Yeah, we just write this one off on taxes right now. And apparently, they haven't shown The Flash because from what I've, seen, it's like, why?
Well, but the trick is, you got Aquaman 2's got Amber Heard, and she's every damn bit as toxic as...
Yeah. Well, they did say they limited what you will see of her.
Did they limit it enough that she ain't in there?
No.
That's kind of the point. It's... Overall, it will probably be a good thing for DC Cinematic Universe because it always had that kind of, we just fling spaghetti at the wall and see which one sticks. Yeah. It's always been kind of haphazard.
Well, they had so many different irons in the fire, and then they decided, oh, they're all in the same fire, so they must be all related. No, that's not how that works.
Well, their thing was, Marvel was, its selling point at the time was we got a cohesive universe, and DC had random crap.
Yeah.
So what they did was they leaned into random crap. Oh, see, our crap seems random, but it's really a multiverse. And it's really just random crap.
Yeah.
Because your divisions don't get along. But, so now you got some rumblings from the Church of Snyder, basically. See, they're going to bring back the Snyderverse because, that worked so well last damn.
Yeah.
It would be nice if they're doing this restructuring that when they get finished, they put somebody in control of their universe that actually likes superheroes.
Yes.
My advice would be bring somebody up from DC Animation because they tend to hit 9 times out of 10. They can do gritty stories. They can do lighthearted stuff, and it still all feels like the character. They have the characterizations down, which is something that Snyder ain't never come close to doing. Man sucks as a director. He cannot tell a coherent story. You give him 4 hours to tell a story, and he still tells a story that ain't worth a damn. It's got full of plot holes. It literally does not make sense within its own narrative.
Yeah.
Nope. Get somebody else. You want to keep the actors? Fine. Get somebody else to run it. That man does not need to be anywhere near that universe. No. Not until they do Wildstorm. Now, if you decide, hey, we're going to do the Authority. Hey, knock that out of the park. It'll be a 9-hour incoherent mess, but hell, that's the book, so it works.
Yeah.
So do you think DC will take this, or Warner Brothers will take this as a chance to regroup with the DC?
I'm hoping. Truthfully, I'm hoping that Discovery's president, hell, not only takes the film stuff. I'd be happy if he took a broom to the books.
Well, Jennifer and I haven't watched a lot of the shows that are on Discovery. When it first started out, they tended to be all over the map with, what this person was doing, that person was doing, the overall theme of the network. And the guy that's in charge of it now kind of streamline that. Yeah, you got shows going on in different cities, but they all kind of have this overall arcing thing, and they've connected a lot of the shows with crossover shows of, okay, we're going to go here to this city and y'all are going to flip these houses and see who does best. And that, okay, these people are on the same wavelength. If they could do that with the DC show cinematic universe, whether it be link the TV and the movies, that would be great. But they're going to have to cull the herd a little bit and get rid of some of this. Well, I'm doing my own thing. Hey, you work for us. You're going to do what we tell you.
But a lot of the stuff that they cut really didn't need to exist in the first place.
True.
Who the hell wanted to see a Wonder Twins movie?
No, if you're going to do the Wonder Twins, let them be in somebody else's movie first, and then do it.
Just don't do the Wonder Twins. The Wonder Twins were
a comic relief.
The Wonder Twins were relevant when we were children.
Yeah.
They ain't been relevant since.
Mm-mm.
Now they've done knockoffs of them in like Justice League Unlimited and stuff like that, where you kind of go, it's the Wonder Twins. But even there, they kind of suck.
Yeah.
They suck. I don't need a movie of that.
No,
they are literally of my generation, and there ain't I would not sit down and watch a Wonder Twins movie unless you were paying me. Now, if you were paying me to sit there and watch that, I would sit there and watch that crap. There is no conceivable way to make a Wonder Twins movie good. There just isn't.
See, for me, if I was the person there in charge of DC, and I was like, okay, y'all are pushing this Wonder Twins, we're going to take a page out of Marvel's book, and we're going to market that toward the kids. And yeah, they're in high school. Here's a 6-episode thing of them in high school here on Earth, and they're having to learn to deal with stuff like they did with that latest comic book.
You did,
and that would be it.
I can tell that you did not take one look at one page of that Wonder Twins comic that they did here a few years ago, where they did that, where they were in high school and you get to see their home planet, and everybody's either bisexual or gay, and they have orgies up in the sky when it rains. Yeah, that was a movie that did not need to exist.
No,
they need to stick Zan and Jaina right next to Wendy, Marvin, and Wonder Dog in history. Look at that goofball crap, and them and Godzuki can all have a party somewhere and go, wasn't that cute? Wasn't the kids back in the 70s? Man, they really did fall for anything, didn't they? Yeah, they sure did. And move on.
Okay, yeah. If that was the case in the book, yeah, they don't need their own episode.
Now, one thing that I might be a little worried about, I mean, only a little because I don't read the comics much anymore, is if Discovery decides to take the broom to DC, they may just take it to the entire company, because the comics segment of DC ain't worth much.
Well, considering the comic shop that I worked in stopped selling DC, they literally stopped. If you were not subscribed to a DC book, Batman, because that's really all it sells, Batman and Family, Batman and Friends, Dark Knight, Batman, that's literally all DC can sell now is Batman. So if you didn't have a subscription to a DC book, they put DC books on the shelves and nobody gave a damn. Nobody. Because it doesn't say. The only books that DC has that consistently show up in like the top 75 are Batman. That's it. It's Batman and Batman family books. Nightwing, Harley Quinn, Joker. that stuff shows up. Superman's not in it. Flash, Green Lantern, Teen Titans, Suicide Squad, Secret Six, none of that. None of that crap shows up. So let them take the broom to it. The quality of the books is so bad, especially under Jim Lee's leadership. Why they let that man lead that company in the ground, I will never know.
That man can draw. Anything else he tries to do, he fails. He tries to write, it's crap. He tries to run a company, it's crap.
Yeah. You would think they would have looked at Wildstorm that had wonderful ideas, but it couldn't. He can draw. Jason's right. He can draw.
Yeah.
Stick him behind the desk, chain a pen in his hand, let it draw. When it comes to running the business or writing a book, nope.
Yep. He can draw, but then he wants to do anything but draw.
Yeah. And he is literally taking that company and run it into the toilet. He's running past the toilet.
Now he hasn't done it by himself. It all when it started, he was like the second guy.
Yeah, you've had people like, was it Dan Dido?
Yeah, Dido.
To crap like DC has had a run of failures, but Lee's the Joker that just will not go. He's looming large behind all of it, and his stuff. He has taken that company into the toilet. It's in the toilet.
DC's like Marvel. They need somebody that understands the business side of selling merchandise, but is a fan of said merchandise with the veto power to go, no, this won't fly. This will screw up our bottom line.
I don't think things are bad enough now. They don't truthfully even need a fan. They need somebody that goes, okay, we go like we were talking off mic, like Coca-Cola. Back in the 80s, Coca-Cola introduced New Coke. They said, this is our new formula, and this is going to be Coca-Cola from here on out. And they put New Coke out, and they had a big marketing campaign, and people drank New Coke and said, I don't like this crap. And Coca-Cola said, we losing money. So now we'll have New Coke and Coca-Cola Classic.
Yep.
Which is the old formula. And the Coca-Cola that you have now is Coca-Cola Classic because nobody wanted New Coke. And they accepted the mark. They offered a product. The market said, no thank you. They said, all right, here's the product that you like back. Give us money. American comics don't do that.
Yeah, but see,
DC and Marvel both have the same problem. They offer you something. The market goes, I don't like it. And they go, well, we're just going to cram this down your throat. And people go, nah, I just say the hell with the whole thing. Like I said, if you'd told me, 20 years ago, that you could have a comic shop that did not sell DC's products and nobody gave a damn, I'd have called you a lie. That's one of the big two. Now, if you said, well, I ain't carrying no Image of Dark Horse or something, I go, oh, okay, it's Image, that's kind of weird, but it's Image of Dark Horse. That's DC. That's the damn daddy of damn.
That's the Godfather.
That's the Godfather of comics, and people are basically going, keep all this crap. If it ain't Batman, it don't sell. I don't want it. So, you got a company that's held 65% Batman because nobody else can sell a book.
Yes, I saw somebody talking yesterday that if they want Superman to sell, they got to have him and Batman teamed up 24/7 because nobody wants to see Superman. Wonder Woman, stick Batman in it, then it'll sell.
They made John Kent Superman, and he had the issue where he came out. It sold, and it immediately fell out of the top 100.
Yeah. John
Kent was only popular in the Super Sons book where he was teamed with Damian Wayne, Robin. You have, it's Batman's the only thing they got that sells.
Yep.
So, let them take the broom to all of it. It needs a cleansing fire. Hell, truthfully, comics, period, need a cleansing fire. You need somebody to come in there and basically go, if this ain't, you need like an old Jim Shooter type.
Yeah.
If this book ain't selling, it's out. I don't care how many awards it got. I don't care how bad you might like it. If it ain't selling, this is the limit that it has to sell. If it don't reach that limit, it's out.
Yep.
And I don't care even if some of the books that I kind of like got chopped in that, because the overall industry would be better.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to somebody with the power of no and a veto. It's like, if you like this character and you're the writer and you want this character to focus, here's a 4-issue miniseries. Prove to me in a 4-issue miniseries you got enough people that want this character that we give it a shot.
Like they did Venom, even though they made you sick of it. Venom started off in miniseries. Miniseries these days are basically ongoings that they put them out and nobody likes them except the people in the room that write them, and they go, "Oh, this damn thing didn't sell. Oh, well, it's a 6-issue miniseries." Yeah, they got canceled at issue 2. Yeah, it was an ongoing, got canceled. Now it's a miniseries because hell, nobody want it. Yeah, they need some truthfully, they need to cut back on the number of books instead of quantity. They need quality. You need real good product out there, even if you don't have a lot of product. Hell, not having a lot of product means, if it's good product, makes you look forward to product.
Yeah.
You got too much crap.
The three of us are old enough to remember when independent comics struggled to even get sales. If they got if an independent group of independent books got 2% of the market share, they were throwing a champagne party, okay? Now, some of the independent books are outselling Marvel and DC as far as, they've got 3 books, but they outsell the big...
It's another show, but it's because they remember the formula. But
yeah.
Back on subject, hell, we're old enough to remember when, Marvel and DC only did, 15 books a month.
Yeah.
You didn't have... Hell, like in Marvel's case, you didn't have 15 X-Men books. You had Uncanny.
Yeah.
That's it. You had one Uncanny book, one Hulk book. You had Amazing Spider-Man and Spectacular Spider-Man. He was a big deal because he had 2. Then you had Avengers, and then you had your individuals like Iron Man, or Captain America. You might have Marvel Team Up or Marvel Team Up, Marvel 2 in one. But yeah, because you remember when you had the little mail order things? It's anywhere 12, 15 books on that thing. You didn't have a whole fleet of crap to pick from. You had this.
Yeah. DC was the same way. You had 2 Superman books, 2 Batman books, a Justice League, Green Lantern, Flash.
Yeah. Did you say Justice League? Because you'd have your team book, and then you'd have kind of your little individuals, and they would do stuff and they would do stuff like Batman Family or something like that, kind of, because you had your large size books and stuff too. But you didn't have 900 Batman titles. You had 2 Batman Detective Comics. You had Superman and Action Comics. You had Wonder Woman. You had Flash. And you still had that book that would team up like Green Lantern and Green Arrow. I forget what the hell the name of that one was, but you would have your little team up type books, but yeah, you had better quality when you had fewer books, because then they could afford to pay the writers. That's another problem, is they don't want to pay. They get these writers off Tumblr. The only thing you get is LGBTQ teen fanfic, and that ain't that's got its own niche, but this ain't it. Superhero comics ain't it.
Yeah. Look, that's there's a action zombie series that I read, and it's a set of novels, and it got real big at the science fiction conventions and stuff like that. And you had a few people doing fan writing, they took, okay, if the main one is based in this city, well, what would happen if it was in my city? And they wrote from their perspective, and they submitted it to this page. And a couple of the writers got invited to write or submit their stuff in a collection in a book. And it's showing little tales of that universe from the thing. And then 2 of the guys have got invited by the main writer to, work, in a collaboration with it. And they're telling their story of this group of survivors. And it works because the market's not flooded with it. It's still that one little thing. DC and Marvel both need to go back to that thing of, hey, let's get writers that know what they're about and not shoving an agenda down nobody's throat.
Honestly, though, that's what's killing DC is too many self-inserts. That's the problem. They need to hire professional writers. They can write a character that they didn't create. If I come in and start writing Batman, I need to be writing Bruce Wayne. I don't need to be writing Todd Holland. I don't need to be writing me.
Yeah.
He don't need to be me. He don't need to turn into me. All of a sudden, Bruce Wayne's from Chattanooga and, did stage plays and shit like that. No. You write Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, what I'm saying is...
But the comics right now, that's not what you're having. You're having literal self-inserts. You look at that book that they dropped, what was it called? I'm Not Starfire. And where Starfire has a little fugly Danny DeVito looking daughter. And then you look at the writer, and it's literally the writer. Yeah. We don't need that. We need people that can write.
I'm not saying that's what we need. I'm saying...
Hang on, guys. Let me rein us in, because we've gotten way off topic. We need to move back to Discovery canceling stuff and kind of wrap this bad boy up. So are there any projects that y'all can think of that DC's been doing or Warner Brothers has been doing that needs to be canceled that they haven't announced yet?
Flash.
Yeah, Flash. Ezra Miller's Flash. That needs to go.
Now, why do you suppose they won't cancel that one or haven't so far? Even though, like, Batgirl was 90% done, so, you're still talking about basically the entire budget's been blown.
Because Batgirl was a small budget movie, and Flash is a big budget, big screen flick that I think that's the thing here. I think Batgirl they could afford to write off. I think Flash they can't, and they really need to.
Yeah.
I have the dude beats up on women. I have no interest in giving him money. That just is what it is.
Yeah.
Much as I would like to see, as neat as Michael Keaton's Batman has looked in that, it's still one of those. Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Well, it's one of those that even if you knew the movie was going to be great, you still don't want to go see it because of
just because. He's beat the hell out of what 2 women now?
At least
2 or 3, yeah.
And run off with that.
After kid, I'm cool.
Well, they say he was grooming her. She's 18 or 19 now when she ran off with him.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's still.
I mean, it's still creepy as all get out, but he did not kidnap a child.
It is still full R. Kelly territory. So since you're handing out 30-year sentences, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Now, one of the shows that so far has not been canceled is The Peacemaker, because John Cena put out either yesterday or this morning that hey, Peacemaker season 2 is still safe right now. We're looking at a such and such release date. Because we'll be getting filming soon. So
and they kept Lois and Clark. I mean Superman and Lois, but what they did with Superman and Lois is they cut any ties to the Arrowverse, so it's its own thing.
It's on its own thing. Well, you've had John Diggle pop up, but they mentioned the fact that there are other universes, but Diggle basically uses that little device that Cisco cooked up that lets him jump from point A to point B.
I don't care.
Yeah,
until they give him his Green Lantern ring, just stop.
Well, anyway, I guess we'll wrap here then. If you're out there and if you've heard of a cancellation that we missed, let us know. If you got a strong opinion, whether you agree with us or want to argue with us, leave a comment below, drop us a line at thenerdeternal@gmail.com. If you write it, we will read it.
# cancel Ezra Miller.
It's a good Lord, man.
I'm sorry, I have no interest in giving that man money.
# cancel Gleek.
Yeah.
So anyway, until next time, I've been your host, the experience that some call Jason, and with me has been
Todd Father,
CDL 113,
and we will see y'all next time.
Peace.